From the outside, the Ken Cinema looks like business as usual. But over the weekend, KPBS received an email from Landmark's senior regional publicist, Chris Principio, with a statement from the Landmark home office saying, "After long consideration and much effort, we regret that we are unable to continue operating the Ken Cinema. The company recognizes what a cherished asset the Ken has been to the neighboring community. The changing theatrical landscape and challenges to independent exhibition are the major contributing factors." Landmark will be leaving the building as a tenant next month, but the cinema itself will remain, with the owners of the building having voiced an interest in finding a way to keep the Ken open as a movie theater. Neither Landmark Theaters nor members of the Birkin Trust, who own the building, were available for comment. The cinema was brought to life by Robert Birkin in the 1940s and became a beacon for San Diego cinephiles. Landmark leaving marks an end of an era that has saddened many in the film community, like Chris Ryle of IDW Publishing, who lived a block away from the theater for almost a decade.
We saw Bong Joon-ho's the host here, and we're able to then sit and talk about that across the street, having a drink and just sort of replaying the movie. And that's all part of the feel of it, was you could not only see the film and then get back in your car and drive away, but you would stay in the neighborhood and you would then go to the bar, you would go across the street to grab a bite. It was more of just like immersing yourself in the love of film amongst everybody you're around.
For most of the 80s, the Ken was run by Steve Russell, who now serves as executive director of the San Diego Housing Federation.
I started working there back when there was still a unique double feature every night with the occasional 2 or 3 day run. And as I was there, we began, of course, video began to poach on that. Kensington Video is a perfect example. Right next door, they saw the demand for foreign language films and for art films, independent films. But what was really remarkable to me, and I still talk about it in this way, is that it was every night you had a movie, you had a community that came together. And for one night it might be an Indian village, another night it might be a queer village, another night a Jewish village. But the Ken Cinema was, for that community, the village for the evening. And films were a way that signaled to people that this is night. It was like a drumbeat, and everybody had their own, they could watch a Ken film calendar and know what night to show up to meet the others. And that was magic. And that's what we're losing more than anything else with the Ken, is a common bonfire, a place that brings us together where the unintended casual acquaintances can become friends, and you see people maybe you haven't seen in years that have been brought together. So it's heartbreaking to see something like that go away.
The Ken Cinema has provided so many with great memories. From watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show at midnight, to sitting in the dark watching a film with friends, to remembering all the different marquees. Landmark is exiting as the operators of the Ken Cinema, but this might open the doors to a new chapter in the Ken's cinematic life. Beth Accomando, KPBS News.